This video will attempt to answer the question, what is fuzzy logic? We will also be looking at why is it useful, how is it different, and what's its potential. Fuzzy logic was invented by Lotfi A. Zadeh in 1965. It is a form of logic and reasoning that is approximate, which is entirely different from conventional logic and reasoning, which is fixed and exact. This can be better quantified by looking at truth values. Truth values are a measure of how true a logic statement is. In conventional logic, something can be completely true or completely false, which are represented by 1 and 0. Fuzzy logic is able to handle truth values between completely true and completely false. For example, let's say you wanted to determine how full this glass of water is. Conventional logic would say the glass can either be empty or full, which corresponds to truth values of 0 or 1. Fuzzy logic, on the other hand, would say the glass is somewhat empty or mostly full, which corresponds to truth values of 0.3 or 0.7. These truth values can also be graphically represented using membership functions. On this chart, there are 3 different membership functions which represent the temperature of your glass of water. These values are cold, represented by blue, warm, represented by yellow, and hot, represented by red. Now, let's say your water is a balmy 36 degrees Fahrenheit. This would give you 3 different truth values for your water. You could say that your water is pretty cold, which gives a truth value of 0.8, or you could say your water is not that warm, which corresponds to a value of 0.2, or you could say your water is about as hot as Antarctica, which gives a value of 0. Now, let's say you have this really cool robot butler that brings you drinks and operates on a fuzzy logic system. You could use the temperature chart from before to define fuzzy sets that will help your butler deliver you beverages at the optimal temperature. Fuzzy sets are a range of logical values that have varying degrees of membership. These are usually represented as if-then statements. For example, you could say, if the temperature is cold, then bring drink. It would say that, I want my drinks cold, you bring them to me when they're cold. And if you don't want them, when they're hot, you would potentially say, if temperature is hot, then wait, and you would wait until the temperature gets to a more acceptable range. We are now going to talk about why is fuzzy logic useful. Fuzzy logic is a superset of conventional logic, or Boolean logic, that has been extended to handle the concept of partial truth. The concept of partial truth contains all values between completely true and completely false. Completely true and completely false are also known as 1 and 0. How is fuzzy logic different from conventional logic? Fuzzy logic is different because it attempts to model human decision-making and thinking. This is accomplished through the use of fuzzy sets and fuzzy rules. What is fuzzy logic's potential? Fuzzy logic's potential is essentially limitless because it makes a computer think like a human, but with much more efficiency and speed. References.